In the Earning Freedom Mastermind program, I speak a lot about the importance of really learning from leaders. And one of the ways that we can learn from leaders is by doing something that's a little bit, I guess, out of the ordinary. And that's by reaching out into the marketplace and looking for mentors. And one of the guys that really did this well is Elon Musk. Some of you may know Elon Musk. He's the founder of Tesla, the founder of SpaceX. And today he really moved the market in Bitcoin by making a $1.5 billion acquisition. Well, I learned a lot from a guy like him. And one of the lessons that I learned is the importance of reaching out and asking for help. It's something that you can be doing as well. Now, if you get an opportunity to read the Elon Musk biography, let me see if I could find it here on Amazon. Elon Musk biography. Okay, you can. Let me just take a look at the image. There's the image right there of the book that I read. This is the audio book. It's just called Elon Musk and Tesla, SpaceX, and the Quest for a Fantastic Future. Out here in society, they have this program that's called Audible. And I have a subscription to Audible, and I have a number of books. All of the books that I read are related to business or successful people. So let me see when I read the Elon Musk book. I read that book quite a while ago. It doesn't look like it's in my library, so I must have read the actual hard copy. Huh. I don't know. Oh, yeah, there it is. So, no, it's actually, I have to add it to my cart. So it is not in my library. But I read this book. And when I read the book, I learned a great lesson about somebody who takes it seriously to reach out and find mentors. There was one story in there that really caught my attention. And it was the story of how when he came to America, and it was actually in Canada, he set this goal of wanting to reach out to the 100 people that he would most like to meet when he settled here. And he wanted to ask them just to pick their brain and learn from them a little bit, because he understood that learning from leaders could help him become more successful. So he wrote this unsolicited letter, hundreds of unsolicited letters, to hundreds of people with hopes of meeting 100 people. And one of the people that wrote him back was the president of a bank. I think it was the Bank of Newfoundland, as I remember from the story. And that banker, the CEO of the bank, gave him a lunch meeting, and he went to this lunch meeting together with his brother. I forgot his brother's name, but they worked together a lot. And during the lunch meeting, the banker became so impressed with Elon Musk that he offered him a job. And when he offered him that job, it was to come work in the bank for a summer and to study this concept of sovereign debt. Now, sovereign debt is when a bank lends money to a country, a sovereign nation, so that if the country doesn't perform on the debt, there's nothing the bank can do. So it's sovereign debt. The bank can't go foreclose on the country because it's a sovereign debt. So they would just have to write it off. And the banker tasked Elon Musk with studying their sovereign debt and figure out what he could learn from it. But what Elon Musk learned was that the financial sector and the financial industry was so out of whack that he didn't want anything to do with it anymore. He knew that he had to disrupt it and innovate a better way to move money and transfer money. Well, today, he really moved the market with the announcement that he purchased at $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. Now, those of you who have been locked in prison for a long time may not know what Bitcoin is, but it is a new form of currency, a currency that is not controlled by a central government, but rather is controlled by the marketplace. So it's really a disruptive way of looking at money. And this, you can look kind of at the chart of Bitcoin, okay, of all time, and it kind of got its start right around, let's see, is this Bitcoin? BTC, yeah. Why is it showing all time? I wanted to show you this chart. So this chart shows where Bitcoin has moved since the start, but this isn't the start. It started much lower than that. Let me try Bitcoin again. Go to prices, go to prices for Bitcoin, and go to all time. But that is not all time because it used to trade for like $1 or pennies on the dollar. Let me see if I can find another chart. Bitcoin chart all time. It's the cool thing about Google is you can just see all kinds of things. Max, let's take a look at Bitcoin, this chart, see if I could find it. Bitcoin. God, I really want to find some information for you. Bitcoin charts. Price charts. Let's see on Google. Because I know you're in prison. You don't have opportunities to look at it. Get started, products, get started, sign in. I don't want to sign in. I want to show you Bitcoin charts. Well, I can't show you back when it was Bitcoin market prices maybe. CoinDesk, gold price, Bitcoin chart price. Let's see if it shows here. Bitcoin price. Is that from the beginning of time? Nope. Maybe I can go a time horizon. Shoot. Really want to show you this. Let me see what I show here. Nope, that's a gold price. Well, I'm not going to waste your time anymore. I'll just tell you that when I got out of prison, Bitcoin was trading at about all-time. Is that an all-time chart? Here's an all-time chart. Yes, finally, an all-time chart. Takes us back to early 2013. Well, I guess that Bitcoin price is right then when it's trading at $100 a coin. Okay, let's see. Price, $144 a coin. Okay, so in August of 2013, which was around the time that I got out of prison. I got out of prison on August the 11th, 2013. And in August, it was trading at, when I finished my sentence, August the 12th, it was trading at $106 a coin. Today, it's trading at $46,000 a coin. Okay? $46,000 a coin in just that many years. So I can go back to prices of Bitcoin to the beginning and go back to the beginning and see when it was trading for roughly $100 a share. Okay? $100 a share. So with $10,000, how many Bitcoins would a person have been able to buy at $100 a share? Let's find out. Calculator app, $100 a share. Let's just say $10,000 divided by, call it $150 a share equals, well, back then you could have bought 66 coins for, that's not right, $10,000, 1, 2, 3, divided by 150, yeah, I guess that's about right, equals 66 coins. But today those 66 coins would be worth $46,172, or a grand total of just over $3 million. So 10,000 the day I got out of prison would have been worth $3 million today. But the real run on this chart, as you can see, has grown relatively recently. Here in 2016, it started to climb over 1,000, and it grew here to 15,000 or so in 2018. It grew, and then it dropped. Here's like the start, kind of a low point again in May of 2019, 3,500. Then there's around the time of the pandemic when it was trading around 6,000, and it's gone up $40,000 since then. Biggest move, of course, is over the last 24 hours when early this morning, Elon Musk, or it announced that Elon Musk of Tesla had invested $1.5 billion into Bitcoin, which you can see what it's done to that market. It went from $39,000 a coin to $46,000 a coin. So what can you learn from a leader? Well, a leader like Elon Musk can really help us to understand when you see a problem in society, you've got to figure out a solution, a way to respond to it, and sometimes you can become so powerful that you can move markets. Look, he's moving this market right now, and as a result of what the news on his purchase, you can see what's happening. People from all over the world are buying into Bitcoin the Tesla Bitcoin singularity is here at last. Michael Saylor, that's another technology guy who invested quite a bit of money in Bitcoin. There it is. There was the news that broke everything. Tesla says it has bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. So the reason I'm showing you all of this is because you're in the same situation that I was in for 26 years if you're watching this inside of a prison. You're in this environment where you feel the world is going on around you, but you can't participate. I used to use an analogy when I was in prison that said, I feel like I'm a Gulfstream jet, but without any wheels. So someday I'm going to be able to fly, but for now I can't seem to get off the ground. But that can't discourage us. We've got to find ways to use our time productively and industriously every single day, regardless of how long we're going to be in there. And one of the strategies that I talk about in this daily journal course that I encourage you to get is to really read deliberately. When I read Elon Musk's book, and I don't know why I don't have it in my audiobook, because that's generally how I read now, is I listen to them while I'm running or something. But one of the lessons that I learned from Elon Musk was that you can never take the world for granted and think it is always going to be the same. A person has to innovate and figure out ways to disrupt the way things are today and work toward building something better. But in order to disrupt anything, first we have to disrupt our own life. We have to change the way we think so that we are never going to allow external forces or circumstances to define who we are or what we can become. And so one of the strategies that's in the course that I highly recommend to everybody who's watching these videos is to read deliberately. The reason that Elon Musk chose his 100 people that he wanted to meet and learn from, he picked those names out of articles that he read or books that he read. And he read very methodically. He knew that he wanted to learn. He knew that he wanted to become successful. He knew that he wanted to change the world. And without a doubt, he has changed the world. One of the most exciting purchases I bought, let me see if I could find it actually here on this video. Let me see, Tesla. One of the most exciting purchases I bought when I got out of prison was right here. Let me see, I can show it to you on the screen. I don't know if you can hear me, but that was the day I picked up my Tesla from the showroom in, oh, that's just an image. But that's the car I have right now, and it was really inspired by reading about Elon Musk. I just thought he was such an innovative leader that I really wanted to follow his guidance on how to look at the world and how to do something differently. It's what I think you need to be doing if you're in a difficult or challenging circumstance right now. Don't look at the world as if you're in the midst of the struggle, but start thinking about what you want to become. And in the book, I suggest that you pursue this very deliberate, methodical way of reading and learning from what you read. So it encourages anybody that's going into the prison system to be writing every time you read a book, to write a book report. And that book report should answer 3 questions. Number 1, why did I read this book? For example, the reason I chose to read Elon Musk's biography is because I looked at him as a real innovative leader. I saw that he, first of all, wanted to change the way people, what was his first company? It was PayPal, wanted to change the way people, actually that wasn't his first company, that was his second company, but it was the one that he really scored on. He wanted to change the way people processed money. And he recognized that the banks were inefficient. And because they were inefficient, he believed he could start a better way. And he started with something I think it was called the X payment processor. And then he merged with PayPal. And that is what launched his first really big fortune, where I think he made like $200 or $300 million. Then with that investment, he wanted to learn about space exploration. And he launched what became SpaceX by designing his own rockets. Then he really liked the idea of clean energy, and so he bought into this clean energy car company named Tesla and took that company public. And then he launched the other big company, which was his solar business that not only helps him with batteries and so on and so forth, but it also powers society. So I looked at him as a real innovative leader, and I wanted to learn from him. And that's the reason I chose to read his book. See, that's how you start a book report. The second question we ask in a book report is, how will having read this book contribute to what did I learn from having read this book? That's the second concept in the book report plan as defined in this workbook. And so if I were going to write a book report on reading the Elon Musk book, what did I learn? I learned never to take what is static for granted. Instead, figure out what we can do. You may be in a prison and you may be hearing the world that you can't start another business, or you can't do something with your felony background, or you can't influence the job that you're going to have when you come home, or you can't go back into business, and all this nonsense that I heard while I was in prison and when I got out. I learned from leaders like Elon Musk that we can always sow seeds that will help us build the future we want to build. And it's something I've learned from all kinds of leaders, and it's something I try to pass along to those people who go through my courses in jails and prisons. And the third concept of the book report project is to define how will having read this book influence your prospects for success upon release. And I read that book when I was already home. I'm really surprised though it's not on my audio file. I don't remember reading the book itself. I remember listening to it. In any event, when I consumed the Elon Musk book, I knew it was going to help me launch new businesses. And the newest business that I'm launching is called compliance mitigation. Now, theoretically, there's going to be a lot of people that said a guy who served 26 years in prison should not be launching a compliance program. But I disagree. I think that anybody with a felony background, anybody that has gone through a government investigation, has an enormous amount to offer and to teach. And if we can teach these lessons to more people, we can really improve life for more people by helping them understand how the government investigations work and how the criminal justice system works, and make decisions, compliance decisions, that will divert them from ever being the target of a criminal investigation or a prosecution. So these are lessons that I learned from leaders. I can learn from Elon Musk. It doesn't mean I have to become an engineer or start a car company or a rocket ship company or make $1 billion investment in Bitcoin. In fact, I sold Bitcoin last week, and you can see I lost thousands of dollars by selling just before he bought out 1.5 billion. But that's the market, right? You can never cry about taking a profit. I took a profit, moved on, lost some money on the upside here, but I know that there are more opportunities to come. Just like you have more opportunities in your life. You may be going into the prison system like my friend Jaime, who I just heard about last night, and I do look forward to hearing from you when you're inside, Jaime. Make sure that you stay focused on what you're doing. Or I know that I believe in everybody that's going through these programs, and I do hope that you will take these lessons and apply them to your life and become an investor in yourself. Disrupt the mindset that your current struggles are going to define the rest of your life. Instead, figure out what you want to do, invest in yourself, and sow the seeds today for what you want to build in the weeks, months, years, and decades ahead. I'm not telling you to do anything that I didn't do. And you know that from reading my books, but you know that from watching these videos every day. I'm doing this because I believe in you, and I want you to believe in yourself. And if you're watching this outside, please subscribe to the program. If you're watching this inside, make sure that you get a copy of the Earning Freedom workbooks and you work through these programs so that you can come out more successfully as well. Thanks for being a part of our group. Incidentally, if you're watching this today, I don't know if I'll make a video, but on my iPhone tomorrow, because I got to fly out to New York, and I'm going to be gone for about 10 days. It's going to really disrupt my flow, but I'm going to do my best to publish every day. They may be a little bit shorter, but every day. Be cool.